Good morning.
Good morning.
We are continuing to talk about the midah of shtika, and we heard that, of course, when we think of the midah of shtika, we think of the example of where someone just insulted us, someone just put us down, and we want to respond, and we hold ourselves back, and of course that's tremendous, and it brings us chus, and we heard the great reward of someone that does that. We also heard about the idea of a deafening silence of where someone's in awe, someone's in shock, something that happened. And sometimes it's a painful silence. I want to talk about another aspect of shtika that Orchas Tzadikim brings out. In the very beginning, he brings a chazal, in Shar HaShtika, he brings a chazal of two representatives that come to Antrinos Kesar. And each representative is vouching for either what their opinion, the idea of how powerful Dibur is or how powerful Shtika is. And of course, the representative for Dibur gets up there and says how great Dibur is, because we need Dibur. The Malachim obviously talk with Dibur, and Dibur is done with all the business dealings, and there's so many parts of life that require speech. And then he steps aside, and the representative for Shtika starts speaking and saying how great Shtika is. And as he starts to begin, the representative for Dibur jumps in and says, "Hold on 1 second." And the representative has asked, "Hold on 1 second. Why are you jumping in all of a sudden and disturbing and not letting him at least give his reasoning why Shtika is so powerful?" And he says, "What do you mean? He's using my idea of Dibur to explain his Shtika. It doesn't make sense." And of course, we look at the scenario and we say that, why was he wrong for jumping in? Because of course, he was using Dibur to speak about Shtika, but at the end of the day, there's a time and place for speaking and for being quiet. When we say a person should be quiet, and we say the midah of Shtika, it doesn't mean a person is supposed to live his life in solitary confinement and be quiet and not talk to anybody. That, of course, is not the midah of Shtika. The midah of Shtika is knowing when to say something and when not to say something. The reason that we're hearing that the idea of Shtika is a person needs to hold himself back and where a person needs to be quiet at moments is because, as Orchas Tzadikim brings out, there are many more components of a person's dibur that could, God forbid, bring a person to a bad place than there are to bring a person to a good place. So if a person has to weigh the situation and see that the chances of him saying something good, the chances of him saying something useful or purposeful with his mouth is a lower chance. He has to make sure that he's thought out. He has to make sure that he's actually thinking, is this a time and place that I should be speaking? But of course, there is a time when a person should be speaking, and a person, Be'ez Hashem, by using his das, his seichel, he'll be able to realize when he should stay quiet and when he should use his voice for good reasons. Have a good day.